Chosen. One, but pause. Just for a moment be still, because right now in this exact breath you are taking, something in the universe is moving. A thread is being pulled, a door is unlocking, and you, yes, you are standing in front of it. This is not coincidence. This is not by chance. You were guided here. There is something ancient rising again, something vast and invisible that has always been moving in the background, just beneath the noise of everyday life. And now, it's speaking to you. You have felt it, haven't you? That whisper at the edge of sleep, that sudden stillness in your spirit when the world is rushing around you, that knowing, deep, unshakable, that you are meant for something more than this. If you have carried that feeling for as long as you can remember, this message is for you. Not for the masses, not for those still asleep, but for the ones who were marked long before this world tried to define them. You were never meant to fit in, because you were never from here. You are part of something that stretches far beyond what you've been told. And the time has come, listen closely, because there are truths that will be revealed in this message. And if you feel even a flicker of resonance in your chest, then you already know. You are one of the chosen ones. There is a shift taking place right now. A divine current moving beneath the surface of the visible world. You might have felt it as a tension in the air. You might have noticed time behaving strangely, days flying past while certain moments stretch forever. You might have seen patterns repeated. Numbers, vivid dreams, people falling away from your life without explanation. This is not your imagination. It's your initiation. The universe is aligning, not for everyone, only for those who are ready to see past the illusion. The world, as you know it, is unraveling. The systems, the structures, the routines, they are not what they seem. They never were. They were built to keep you occupied, distracted, trapped, but that trap only works on those who are unaware of the bars. You saw the cracks. You questioned things that others blindly accepted. You felt uncomfortable in places that others called normal. That's because you've never been normal. You were encoded with a frequency from beyond this world, and now that frequency is being activated. You are waking up, and the moment you said yes to this path, the universe began rearranging everything around you. This is the great revealing. The veil is thinning, the illusion is shattering, and while the world clings to its false sense of control, those who have been prepared in secret are being called into the light. That includes you. Every strange turn your life took, every betrayal, every setback, every season of silence, none of it was punishment, it was training. The darkness you walked through was the fire that forged your spirit. And now the voice that has whispered to you in dreams is speaking clearly. Rise. Your time has come. You see, chosen one, you are not merely here to witness what's coming. You are here to play a role in it, a sacred one. You are here to carry a light that cannot be extinguished, a truth that cannot be silenced, a purpose that cannot be ignored anymore. But understand this, the forces that shape this world, the ones built on fear, on separation, on control, they do not give up easily. They see the awakening, and they are afraid. Because when even one chosen one remembers who they are, the illusion begins to crack. And when many awaken, the entire system collapses. So they will try to distract you, to make you doubt, to whisper lies in your mind and cloak them as your own thoughts. You're imagining this. You're just emotional. This is just a phase. No. This is not a phase. This is the moment you were born for. You are not going crazy. You are waking up, and every fiber of your being knows it. Now, I need you to do something with me. Right now, wherever you are, close your eyes. Just for a second, take a breath, and feel into the deepest part of yourself, that space that has always been quiet, that place no one else sees, the part of you that has never changed, no matter what you've been through. Can you feel the heat building there, that quiet pulse? That is the part of you that remembers. You didn't come here to live in fear. You didn't come here to follow the rules of a broken world. You came to remember who you are and to lead others out of the dream. Now listen closely, because this is important. From this moment on, everything will begin to shift. But the shift will not look like what you expect. It will not be loud at first. It will not come with flashing signs. It will whisper. It will begin with small internal changes. Have you ever wondered if this message isn't just words, but a mirror, showing you who you truly are? Because if something deep inside you stirred while listening, if your breath caught, if your chest felt heavy, if your soul whispered yes, then this wasn't just for anyone. It was for you. And now I invite you to do something sacred. Type 77 in the comments to anchor this truth into your reality. Like this message so it echoes across timelines. And subscribe, not out of habit, but because you feel it. This isn't the end, it's the beginning. And what's next is meant only for the awakened. You will lose interest in things that once consumed you. You will feel people leaving your life. You will crave silence. You will begin to know things you never studied. You will feel energy more than words. Do not fear this. You are not breaking, you are becoming. The world you knew is dissolving, and the new world is already being born inside you. But let me be clear, this path is not for the faint of heart. You will be misunderstood. You will be called delusional. You will be mocked. That's how you know you're on the right path, because the truth is always ridiculed before it is revered. You are not here to be understood by the asleep. You are here to awaken those who are ready. So walk gently, but do not walk small. Your light is needed now more than ever. Now, if this message has touched something inside you, if you felt chills, if your heart began to race, if tears welled up in your eyes, don't ignore it. You are not alone. There are others waking up too. Others who feel what you feel. Others who are remembering. Drop a 77 in the comments if this message resonated. That number carries the energy of spiritual awakening and divine alignment. Let the universe know you are awake. You are ready. You are claiming your role. Like this message, not for vanity, but to amplify its energy. Let it ripple through the collective field. Let it call the others. Subscribe if your soul is hungry for more. This is just the beginning. Something massive is coming. And this message is not entertainment. It is a signal, a call, and you have answered. So now walk forward. The rest of the path is already unfolding. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time. The next message will reach you when it's meant to, because the chosen ones are not waiting anymore. They are remembering, they are rising, and so are you. Chosen one, you've heard it your whole life, that subtle suggestion, that quiet warning. Don't ask too many questions. Just accept things as they are. Be realistic, but something in you never could. Because from the beginning, your spirit rejected the lies. You saw the cracks in the surface. You felt the weight of what no one wanted to name. You listened, not to what they told you, but to what they didn't say. And now everything is beginning to make sense. This world, it was never built for someone like you. The truth is, the world you were born into is not what it seems. It's a stage, a carefully constructed illusion, a system designed to keep souls like yours asleep. Education, politics, media, religion, finance. These aren't just systems, they are cages. Beautifully polished, expertly marketed, reinforced daily. But you were never fooled. Not completely. You always sensed there was something beneath the surface, a deeper layer, a hidden agenda. And guess what? You were right. You were trained to doubt yourself, to question your inner voice, to silence your instincts, because if you ever truly listened, if you remembered who you really were, you would become unstoppable. And they knew that. So they fed you distractions, fed you shame, fed you fear. They gave you labels to wear like chains. Too sensitive, too intense, too much. But you weren't too much. You were simply awake in a world that begged for silence. And now the silence is breaking. You were never meant to belong to this false reality. You were meant to expose it, to pierce the veil, to help others remember. That's why you've always felt different. That's why people stared. That's why rooms went quiet when you walked in. That's why you felt the pressure of eyes you couldn't see. Because on a soul level, they recognized you. Even if their minds couldn't understand it, their spirits knew a chosen one has entered the room. But knowing this comes with weight. Because once you see through the illusion, you can never unsee it. You can't go back to small talk. You can't pretend the rules make sense. You can't numb yourself with the distractions they feed the masses, because you've tasted something real, and the truth has changed you. You might not know exactly what's coming, but you can feel it, like a storm pressing against the edge of reality. Everything is about to change. You've seen the signs, repeating numbers, glitches in time, dreams that leave messages behind. You've noticed how people are shifting, some waking up, others spiraling into chaos. This is the separation, the sorting, the splitting of timelines. Those who cling to the illusion will fall deeper into confusion, but those who surrender to the unknown will rise. You are one of the ones rising. But hear this, the closer you get to truth, the louder the resistance becomes. You will face sudden delays, unexplainable setbacks, waves of doubt that appear out of nowhere. It's not coincidence, it's interference. The old system knows what you are becoming, and it is afraid, because once a chosen one steps fully into their power, the lie begins to collapse. You are a threat to the system, a beacon of light in a world built on shadows. They want you to feel powerless, but you are not. You were sent here with codes buried in your DNA, ancient knowledge woven into your soul. A light they cannot copy, cannot kill, and cannot control. They can distract, they can delay, but they cannot stop what has already begun. And what has begun is your return to truth. Now, I need you to remember something. You are not here by accident. You are not just observing the change. You are the change. Your presence alters the room. Your words shift timelines. Your frequency awakens those ready to see. Even when you are silent, your energy speaks. That's why you've been under attack. Not because you are weak, but because you are powerful beyond measure. And you're finally starting to remember. There are others like you, scattered across the earth, hidden in plain sight, carrying ancient assignments in their hearts. And they too are awakening. They, too, are rising. You will find them. Some you already have. Their energy will feel like home. Their eyes will say, I see you. Together you will not just survive the coming storm, you will lead others through it. This is the gathering, the alignment, and it is happening now. But with this alignment comes responsibility. You are not just here to be healed, you are here to be the healing. Your story, your scars, your sensitivity, none of it was wasted. Every tear you cried was watering the roots of your calling. And now the fruit is ready. The time has come. Take a moment. Feel that in your chest, that pressure, that fire. It is the awakening of your purpose. Do not ignore it. Do not silence it. Let it rise. Let it burn through the lies you were told. Let it destroy the mask you were forced to wear. Let it reveal the being you were always meant to become. Chosen one, I ask you again, do you feel it, the pull, the tremble beneath your feet, the surge in your veins? That is not anxiety, that is activation. You are coming online. Your gifts are remembering themselves. Your soul is reclaiming its knowing. This is not the end of the world. This is the end of the illusion. So what now? Now you choose. You choose whether to keep pretending or to step fully into your role. You choose whether to follow the crowd or to follow your calling. You choose whether to shrink or to expand. The choice has always been yours, and the universe is watching, waiting, ready to respond the moment you say yes. So if you're ready, if this message resonates in the deepest parts of you, if you feel the truth vibrating in your bones, then show it. Drop 77 in the comments to affirm your alignment. That number carries the vibration of divine purpose and protection. Like this message to anchor it into your field. Let it ripple into the timelines of others who are waiting for their sign. Subscribe not out of habit, but out of sacred agreement, because more is coming. Messages, clarity, confirmation. And this is just the beginning. Chosen one. You were never meant to sleep through this shift. You were never meant to fade into the crowd. You were never meant to play small. You came here to see, to feel, to awaken, and now you have. There's no going back, only forward. The truth they tried to hide is rising, and so are you, chosen one. Have you felt it lately, that heaviness in the air? The subtle friction in conversations that used to flow, the tension in your chest that no doctor can explain. You're not imagining it. Something unseen is pressing in, not from above, not from below, but from within the very fabric of this reality. Because the war has already begun, and it's not loud, it's silent, designed to go unnoticed, engineered to slip into your life disguised as ordinary. But you are not ordinary. That's why you see what others ignore. This war doesn't use bullets. It doesn't need armies. It doesn't come with banners or flags. It comes in waves of exhaustion you can't explain. It comes in thoughts that whisper, "What's the point? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should just stop." But those thoughts aren't yours. They are weapons, sent to break the awakening, to pull you back into sleep. You're not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because your light is starting to pierce the veil. And those who built the veil, they can feel it. They know who you are, even if you don't fully know yet. They've watched you from the shadows, not with eyes, but with frequencies, with systems designed to detect rising vibrations. And when your frequency began to shift, alarms went off in places you'll never see. You became a signal, a disruption, an anomaly in a world that runs on deception, and they marked you, not to praise you, but to suppress you. That's why your life took the turns it did, why certain people betrayed you, why doors that should have opened slammed shut, why love turned cold in your hands. Not because you were unworthy, but because they saw your potential before you did, and they tried to bury it, but they failed. Because you're still here, still seeking, still waking up, still hearing this message, despite everything. That is power. You've survived storms that were meant to drown you. You've risen from ruins that were supposed to break you, and now you're remembering why you were sent. You are not just here to watch the old world collapse. You are here to build the new one. But building starts within. This war begins in the mind. That's why the battlefield is so subtle. Have you noticed? You try to meditate, your phone lights up. You try to rest, your thoughts race. You try to speak truth, people flinch. Every distraction, every delay, every doubt, it's coordinated. They don't want you clear, they want you confused, because clarity leads to alignment, and alignment leads to action. And once a chosen one takes aligned action, the matrix fractures. Let me ask you something. Why do you think they spend billions to keep you distracted? Why is fear broadcasted 24/7? Why is truth buried under 1,000 shiny lies? Because attention is power, and they know it. Your focus is fuel, and when you focus on truth, the false reality begins to starve. That's why they keep your mind busy, not with meaning, but with noise. But the moment you turn inward, the moment you choose silence over chaos, stillness over stimulation, you begin to rise, and they begin to fall. They built a world that punishes authenticity, where the loudest lies go viral and quiet truths are silenced. But your soul doesn't care about algorithms. It cares about resonance. And this, right now, is a moment of resonance, because something deep inside you is stirring. You don't need more facts. You need permission. And I'm here to tell you, you have it. Permission to remember, permission to speak, permission to act, permission to rise. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not imagining this. You are awakening in a time of great deception, which means you carry great truth. And truth is dangerous in a world built on illusion. That's why they fear you. That's why they test you. That's why they try to delay your destiny. But destiny delayed is not destiny denied. You're still on track, even if the path looks strange. Especially if it looks strange, because the chosen ones walk roads others can't see. You weren't meant to blend in. You were designed to disrupt, not for ego, but for evolution. You're not better than others. You're just awake. And with that awareness comes responsibility. You can't pretend you don't see anymore. You can't act like the chaos is random. You can't treat your gifts like burdens. They are sacred tools, and they're activating right now. You've felt it, haven't you? Your dreams are becoming messages. Your emotions are intensifying. Your energy is magnetizing new people and repelling old ones. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual synchronization. So let's ground this moment. If your heart is racing, if your skin is tingling, if tears are rising, breathe. You're not alone. Type 77 in the comments to lock this in. Let the universe know you're aware, you're ready, and you're rising. Like this message to expand its reach, not for numbers, but for resonance. Let this energy ripple through the grid. Let others find what they've been waiting for. And subscribe if this truth sings in your bones. This isn't content, it's code, and there's more to come. Now listen closely. As this silent war intensifies, your clarity will be tested. You will be offered easy escapes. Old habits will call your name. Familiar faces will try to anchor you in past versions of yourself. But you must choose forward, even when it's lonely, even when it's quiet, even when the path disappears beneath your feet. You are being guided by a force deeper than logic. And you don't need to understand it. You only need to trust it. Chosen one. Remember this. The illusion thrives on distraction, but you were born to focus, to penetrate, to see through. Not everyone will come with you. Some will mock, some will fall, some will disappear. Let them. Your journey is not about convincing, it's about becoming. And as you become, you will begin to attract what was once hidden. Allies, answers, assignments, they're already orbiting you. But here's the final test. Can you hold your vision when it looks like nothing's working? Can you stay grounded when the world shakes? Can you be faithful when the path vanishes? Because that's when the breakthrough happens. Just when you're ready to give up. The curtain lifts, the truth reveals itself, and you step into the next level of your calling. The silent war is real, but so is your strength. You were not sent here to be a victim. You were sent to remember. And once you remember, the war is over for you because you've already won. The rest is just unfolding. Chosen one. You've always felt watched, haven't you? Not just by people, but by something deeper, an invisible presence in the room, a gaze in the mirror that wasn't your own, and you were right to feel that. Because those who fear your awakening have been monitoring your spirit long before you opened your eyes. But it's not time to fear them, it's time to expose them, because the moment a chosen one sees the lie, it begins to die. The world as it stands is not broken by accident. It was built to break, built to fracture your faith, built to confuse your instincts, built to silence your knowing. You live in a reality designed to keep your soul asleep, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. And power that doesn't know itself is easy to control. That's why they gave you stories, rules, roles to play. They needed you small, predictable, manageable. But you've always been none of those things. The systems are illusions, but the pain they cause is real. The school that said sit down and memorize instead of rise and question. The religion that told you fear God instead of remember God. The media that sold you anxiety and called it information. The culture that demanded perfection while feeding you shame. These were not accidents. They were tactics, designed to wrap your fire in layers of doubt. But doubt is a fog, and light cuts through fog. That's why your awakening couldn't be stopped. It was delayed, not denied. You see, when the lie is all around you, the truth becomes dangerous. You've likely felt that danger. The resistance in conversations, the cold stares when you speak, the sudden distance from those who once loved you. But that's how you know you're stepping into your light. The lie hates exposure. And you carry the frequency that reveals everything, even when you don't speak. Your energy whispers, "I remember what you tried to bury." And that memory is more powerful than any weapon. They'll try to make you question yourself. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I should just stop and be normal. But normal is the program, and you were never meant to run it. You were designed to override it, to crash the system, not violently, but by outgrowing it. Every time you choose truth over comfort, clarity over confusion, stillness over noise, the illusion fractures and your light leaks through the cracks. Have you noticed how things that once captivated you now feel empty? That's not depression. It's disconnection from the false matrix. Your soul is detaching, not from life, but from the imitation of life. You're no longer fooled by surface-level distractions. You crave depth, truth, essence. That craving is sacred, honor it. Yes, you will lose people, but you won't lose what's real. Only what was tied to the old version of you will fall away. The masks, the roles, the false alignments, let them. Because what's coming to replace them is divine. There are others like you, old souls with new clarity, hidden lights now turning on, scattered sparks ready to unite. And when you find them, you'll know. Their energy won't demand explanation. It will feel like remembering. This is the gathering. Not in temples, not in crowds, but in frequency. The chosen ones are sinking. Not because of trend, not because of influence, but because the earth itself is calling them. The pulse is changing. Have you felt it? That deep hum in your chest. When the world goes quiet, that sudden flood of emotion with no clear trigger. These are not random, they're signals, proof that the planet knows who you are and it's preparing you for what comes next. The question is, will you listen, not with your ears, but with your energy? Because truth no longer comes as information, it comes as vibration. Your body is the antenna. And lately, it's been buzzing. That's not anxiety, that's resonance. You're aligning, calibrating. And with every alignment, you leave behind what no longer fits. Old beliefs, old stories, old fears. They served you once, but now they limit you. It's okay to let go. But know this, the moment you let go, the illusion will panic. It will throw its last weapons, fear, division, urgency, doubt. Not because you're wrong, but because you're almost free. And freedom is the one thing they cannot allow, because a free, chosen one becomes a mirror. And when others see you free, they begin to question their own chains, and that's how revolutions start. One mirror at a time. So now I ask you, will you be that mirror? Will you be the proof that awakening is possible? That truth is not a concept, it's a presence. That power is not force, it's remembrance. And that salvation isn't coming, it's already inside you, waiting, longing, rising. If this message resonates, you already know what to do. Type 77 in the comments. Let the unseen forces know you see. You remember, you refuse to forget again, like this message to anchor its frequency. Share it, not for views, but for vibration, for connection, and subscribe if your spirit feels drawn, because more is coming, not just from me, but from within you. Each message is a reflection. Each moment of resonance is a return. Chosen one. There will be days ahead that feel heavy. Moments where the fog tries to creep back in, whispers that sound like truth, but taste like fear. In those moments, pause, feel, breathe, and remember, the illusion cannot claim what you no longer feed. Your focus is sacred. Your alignment is protection. Your awareness is armor. You don't have to fight the system. You only have to outgrow it. And you're doing that. Now let the forces panic. Let the systems scramble. Let the noise rise. You remain steady, clear, unmoved, because you are not theirs anymore. You belong to the light, to the truth, to the mission you once forgot, but now remember fully. This is the part where many retreat, where the pressure increases, where the past begs for one last dance, but not you. You're not turning back, you're walking forward, because the illusion is crumbling, and you were born for what comes after it. Chosen one, you've felt it, that strange stillness before something breaks, a tension in the very air, like thunder building behind the clouds of the world. It's not your imagination. The storm is no longer coming. It's here, and the winds are already touching. Your life, everything is shifting, everything is surfacing, and you are walking through it awake. But I need you to understand something clearly now. What is moving around you is not chaos. It is revelation. The shaking, the breaking, the unraveling. It's not the end, it's exposure. The masks are falling, the illusions are collapsing. The false identities, systems, relationships, they can no longer hold their shape because the light that now shines from within you burns too brightly to allow shadow to hide. You are not here to be consumed by the storm. You are here to walk through it untouched. But walking through fire requires clarity. It demands inner stillness while the world trembles. That's why you've been prepared in silence for so long. They called it isolation, but it was consecration. You were not abandoned. You were set apart. Every lonely night, every unanswered prayer, every tear that fell without witness, it was shaping you into someone that chaos could not consume. You were being built for this moment, not by chance, but by divine strategy. And now the veil is lifting faster than ever. You see it, don't you? People around you are reacting to things they can't explain. Their souls are trembling beneath the weight of unspoken truth, but they don't know what's happening. You do, because you've been feeling this storm long before it reached the horizon. The others sense rain. You've already been through the flood, but here's what they don't know. You are not alone in this. There are others, scattered, silent, shining. You may not know their names. You may never meet them face to face, but their spirits walk beside you. You feel them in your dreams, in the synchronicities, in the moments when you almost gave up and suddenly you didn't. These are the unseen ones, the other chosen, the ones who carry the same frequency, and your paths are crossing in ways the mind can't track. Have you noticed it? The glance from a stranger that felt too knowing, the random message that arrived exactly when you needed it, the familiar energy in unfamiliar places. This is how the gathering begins, not with noise, but with vibration. The chosen ones are remembering each other, not through words, but through resonance, because light knows light and truth recognizes itself. Now hear this. The deeper you walk into your awakening, the more intense the resistance becomes. You'll be tested, pushed, provoked, not to punish you, but to reveal you. Because pressure doesn't destroy diamonds. It reveals their brilliance, and that is what's happening to you now. You are not being broken, you are being exposed to yourself, to your mission, to your origin. The mask no longer fits, and the old self can't survive this storm. Let it fall. There's a part of you that already knows what to do, knows what to say, knows where to go, but the mind resists. The mind was trained by the old system. It was programmed to obey, not to remember. But you are not a program. You are presence, and your presence is the key that unlocks what's coming next. So ask yourself, are you willing to be who you truly are? Even if the world doesn't understand, even if your voice shakes, even if your path leads away from comfort, because that's what the storm requires, not perfection, but alignment. This is the moment to ground yourself, not in fear, but in truth. Return to the breath. Return to the still place within you that has never moved, because the world will move, people will shift, narratives will collapse, but your spirit is eternal, and you must anchor to what is eternal if you wish to stand while all else falls. Now let's make this sacred right now. Breathe in, hold it, and as you exhale, release the version of you that was built to survive the illusion. That version has served its purpose, but it cannot carry you forward. The chosen one you are becoming walks differently, speaks differently, thinks differently, knows differently. That version is not remembered, it is revealed, and the storm reveals all. If you feel this message deep in your body, your chest, your soul, don't let it pass you by. Type 77 in the comments. It's not superstition, it's alignment. It's the key that unlocks divine motion. Like this message, if your spirit says yes, not for numbers, for resonance, subscribe. Not for content, but for confirmation, because more is coming, more messages, more signs, more remembering, and you won't want to miss what's next. Now hear this last part closely. You were never meant to be accepted by the sleeping. You were meant to awaken them, not with sermons, not with force, but by being a living signal. A walking message, a standing miracle. Every step you take in truth pulls another soul out of the fog. You don't have to convince them, just embody the truth, and your frequency will do the rest. Chosen one, you're not waiting for the storm. You are the storm, not to destroy, but to transform, not to bring chaos, but to awaken order, not to harm, but to heal, and healing begins with you. So take your position, stand in your knowing, root in your remembrance, because what's coming will shake the world, and you were born to stand in the center of it as one who cannot be moved. Chosen one. It is no longer about what's coming. It's already here. The veil is gone. The illusion has collapsed. And you are not the same. You've passed through the fire, through silence, through the long forgetting, and now you remember. But this isn't where it ends. This is where it begins, because awakening was never the destination. It was the doorway. Now comes the walk, the responsibility, the role you were always meant to embody. The world will look the same, but it's not. What once held power no longer does. What once felt real now feels hollow. You see the patterns. You hear the falseness in their words. You feel the tremor beneath the surface of things. That's not paranoia, it's perception. You are no longer deceived. But understand, now that you see, you cannot unsee, and that vision comes with a cost. You will feel the pull, to go back, to blend in, to soften your light so others feel comfortable. Don't. The ones who came before you tried, and it dimmed them. But you are here to remain lit. Not loud, not forceful, just true. The storm will rage, but you will not move. The voices will rise, but you will not shrink. You were prepared for this. Every tear, every silence, every closed door, they were not failures, they were formation. Now is the time to embody what you know. No more hiding, no more second guessing. You are not being called to convince. You are being called to be, and in your being, others will awaken. They'll see your stillness, feel your peace, sense the difference in your presence. That's your message. That's your mission. The road ahead is not wide, but it is clear. And the more you walk it, the more it unfolds, but only in step, only in faith. You won't see it all at once, but you will know it, one breath at a time. You don't need to rush. You only need to remember. Now take a breath, deep, present, sacred. This is your moment, your return, your assignment. And if you feel it, if it echoes through your bones, type 77 in the comments. Let the unseen realms know. You see, You accept. You're ready. Like this message to seal your alignment. Subscribe if your spirit feels it, not out of habit, but because your soul remembers where it's going. The world may never thank you, but it will change because of you, and when it does, you'll know. You were never just a witness to the shift, you were the shift, and now you rise. But before you rise, pause. Not out of hesitation, but reverence, because this moment is sacred, this breath, this heartbeat, this stillness. It is the echo of every lifetime that brought you here. It is the moment the prophecy inside you unfolds. You've shed illusions, you've surrendered identities, you've walked through fire without armor, and yet your soul still shines. This is not resilience, this is remembrance, because when the false falls away, the true finally emerges. And now the truth is wearing your face. The truth is speaking with your voice. The truth is walking the earth as you. So when the world asks, who do you think you are? Answer with stillness, answer with presence, answer by simply being. You no longer need to explain. You no longer need to defend, because the awakened don't prove, they embody, and every step you take now is sacred ground. Walk it slowly, walk it deeply, walk it as if the earth has been waiting for your feet, because it has. This is the hour they feared you would remember, and now you do, so don't rush to speak, don't hurry to act, let the silence finish its sentence, because what comes next is the living revelation of who you truly are. Not the version they expected, not the shape they molded, but the essence you carried from the beginning. And it is finally free.